We are ChargeCo, and this is the Cyberbike extension. So our original problem statement, it was pretty simple. Design a product and generate and store electricity from an everyday activity. We needed it to be personal, customizable to a user, right? It needs to be better than everything else that's out there on the market, and it needs to be improvable through using data that can be collected from using the product. When we refined it, we made it a lot more specific to what we were trying to do. Pretty much just keeping all the key points, right? It needs to make electricity from an everyday activity, in this case, biking. It needs to be really user friendly. It has to be super easy to install, set up. It has to be customizable to the end user. It needs to be it really needs to be better than everything else out there. Otherwise, no one's going to use it. What's the point in innovating something if it's not an innovation?
So the idea for our summer bike is an extension that you would attach to your everyday bike, in which you would have motors that would generate electricity as you started a bike and could charge something like, say, your phone on the go. And in the photos, you can see the wiring and the batteries that we would use to power your phone.
All right, so the daily task that we went with was riding a bike. Now, some advantages to this are that it has higher torque and higher RPM, which means that it has the capacity to produce a bunch of electricity. And there's also an immediate need for electricity on a bike since there isn't a lot readily available when you're moving around. And also, being on a bike means that it's easy to implement, it's easy to store all the parts on, and it's user friendly and testable. I calculated that it produces 11.52 watt hours, and that's equal to 10 inches squared of a solar panel, three AA batteries, 9,600 potatoes, or 700,000 humans. And that can power a light bulb for 3.2 hours. It could charge an iPhone two times, or it could drive a Tesla Roadster for 200 feet, or charge AirPods two times. All right, so then for storage of electricity, we ended up using the circuit that you can see on the top left. Now that put 8 rechargeable batteries between the generation and the usage through the USB. Now, because all the electricity was stored in the 8 batteries, that means that the electricity could be used at any time. So you could produce it and pedal for a while and then use it later. Now, an additional advantage to using eight batteries is that it also acts as a voltage regulator, which means there's a constant zero point 0.5 amps going in and 5 volts. And so that protects your phone by having too much electricity or not enough going into it.
Going into the design of the product itself, trying to make it as user friendly as possible, right? It's only two parts. One that the user interfaces with, which holds the phone. You can hold pretty much every type of phone, right? It has a really generous amount of room in the phone holder. You can see straight into the phone and interact with it as the phone is charging, right? If you need to take a call, skip a song, do whatever you need to do. It has a really solid connection to the handlebars, right? So it's not flopping all over the place. Same thing with that personalization, right? It can be custom ordered. Uh, Really easy to access to the USB through the hole in the port. It has LED charging indicators, so you know if your battery pack is charging and if your phone is charging at the same time, right? Really solid motor connection to the wheels so that you're making sure that you're generating electricity every time that your bike's wheel is moving. And same thing, a solid connection to the bike itself for the motor assembly.
So the market for our product has a very wide range of people. Um, the first main target just being people who like to actively stay healthy or enjoy an active lifestyle. And then that subgroup of it would be just people in general who just like to bike, you could say. And that this is made for everybody, whether you needed to just recharge your phone because your kid ran out your battery listening to music, or you're going on those long, I don't know, 4 hour bike rides and you don't want to get caught without a phone. In the end, we go back to our key points that were in our problem statement at the start, to where generate, we can create enough electricity to power a everyday item such as a phone. Store, our product can store up to two full battery lives of a phone. Personal, we make this user friendly for everybody, and so that it is easy to use for them and they can use it every single day. Innovative, we are moving away from our competitors like other companies such as Pavagen, in which we market differently than them and we've learned from them already. And data, in which we've done multiple tests and countless calculations to determine that our circuitry and production of electricity is a feasible idea and that it actually works.